Times twins have different fathers on paternity court.
It's not the twins that were in question, it's just Zara. It's not Zane and Zara, it's just Zara, yes.
And you say only one child is in question?
Yes.
You are not.
I think I am the father, yes. I could be possibly of Luke, yes.
But not both, not Levi.
Possibly, but not.
Denial can act as a deal breaker in any relationship, especially when there are children involved. Likewise, when the love of Miss Miller's life refused to father one of her twins, the woman moved away. However, since giving up is not the solution to her problems, she's here to sort things out.
Your Honor, I love this man, Sean. And since I had the babies, our relationship has been on the rocks. So I'm just here to prove that the twins are indeed his babies.
It's not the twins that were in question, it's just Zara. It's not Zane and Zara, it's just Zara, yes.
And you say only one child is in question?
Yes.
Daddy here only wanted the baby boy and was a little rocky about beautiful little Zara because she didn't look like him. Dude, appearances can be deceiving. But I guess people will never learn that. And this discrimination made the mommy leave the state. What mother in the world would want to bear that?
Everything was cool. Sean was there for me. Everything was good. All of a sudden, he kind of switched up when he seen Zara.
Zara, she doesn't even really look like me.
Mr. Brewer, this doubt is eating away at you.
Yes.
Because you really don't feel like Zara's your biological child.
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Mr. Brewer was still stuck on the looks part, and he wasn't able to look over it. Even though he was the one who fell for the plaintiff on their cruise trip, and after landing this woman with his killer stalking skills, now he was standing in the courtroom blaming her for being fast.
Second time we had sex, she actually pulled off the condom. You know, it was cool then, but then I was like, well, how many other dudes has she did this with?
And that wasn't the second time. It probably was like the fourth or the fifth time.
And then you found out you were pregnant?
Yes.
So where did all this go wrong, Mr. Brewer?
One night she was drinking heavily and everything, and she told me, oh, I cheated on you with a guy named Jose.
Wait, who's this Jose? Baby mama had no idea who he was either, and the defendant added how his girlfriend was all about wanting him while they were together, cause Mr. Looks had no idea where she had been. Ta-da! That's where the paternity doubt hits in.
She told you she cheated on you with a guy named Jose.
Yep, so she would go missing for days, come back smelling like Black & Miles and cologne and stuff like that. And I didn't think that that's what a woman should smell like. You know, you guys smell like perfume and lotion and stuff.
Sometimes I smoke Black & Miles occasionally.
Further, the boyfriend testified that he came across nudes of another man on the plaintiff's phone, which made his doubts more made his doubts more strong. The shocker was that mommy didn't deny such accusations. In her defense, they were from past dealings. Well, they weren't doing any good nowadays.
I'm doing dishes one day, and we're at the house. I'm doing dishes. She comes in, and she's like, oh, baby, I'll be back in a couple of hours. You know what I mean? I say, okay. The door shut. I go to the window. She's hopping in the car with another man. I knew it was Black. I mean, I seen his hair, you know, flat top box. That's not a woman's hair.
He's crazy. Oh, I don't know where he's getting this stuff from.
Crazy and delusional. Yeah, green grime can act in such a way. But is the guy at the podium telling the truth? Adding fuel to the fire, Raquel went missing for a whole 2 days and then popped back up like nothing had happened. And a month later, she was pregnant. Let's see how mommy responds to this.
Mr. Brewer said the little shady actions.
Yeah, Mr. Brewer is delusional. Half the stuff he says is not true.
It's not?
Yeah, it's not true at all.
So who is Jose?
I told you, I don't know nobody named Jose.
The woman stood firm. She didn't know any Jose, and the defendant was just making everything up. Listening to this, the judge jumped to the birth part. Turns out that the moment the alleged daddy saw his, quote, Mexican-looking baby girl, the only word on his lips were, "You do know Jose."
Your Honor,
Mr.
Black
Brewer.
people can come in any shade or color.
I'm glad you said it, because I say it over and over again in this courtroom. Nobody listens to me, except Jerome.
He signed Zane's birth certificate, but didn't sign Zara's.
Wow.
Yeah, the doubt was so distrustful that Sean had only signed one birth certificate. He was only claiming and stepping up for the one child. It was quite sad. No child deserves such treatment, and this was eating the baby mama up.
I just don't know where you got the name Jose from.
Exactly.
Because that's what she told me she cheated. I didn't make it up.
I have no clue
She
where
told
you
me
got
she
that
cheated
from.
on a guy with Jose, named Jose. And then, I mean, my baby come out looking Latino, so hola.
Just before the result, the daddy confessed that he was hoping both the children were his, even though he was quite sure that Zara was not his. But what will happen if none turn out to be his? I'm sure no one wants to see that coming. So let's just get to the results now, shall we?
Mr. Brewer, you are the father.
What I would do today is ask you, will you marry me?
Really?
Yeah.
Gold Digger Mommy had mooched off the defendant enough, so Mr. Little gave her a shock when he cut off his money checks to her bag. Ooh, why? Because Mommy was also taking money from another dude. So Mr. Little was here to finally break her fantasy bubbles and hopes.
Ms. Clifton, you say the defendant, Mr. Little, stopped paying for your twins after finding out another man was also providing.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, Mr. Little, you argue that when Ms. Clifton's twins were 4 months old, you learned another man had claimed them as his own.
Yes, Your Honor.
The plaintiff shared that she was a nursing student with a very low wage and had 3 kids to support. So she took financial help from multiple men to run her life, but they don't believe in paternity and only assist her. Then, Mr. Little took the judge to their relationship status.
Mr. Little, you think these other men think they're the father of
Correct, Your Honor.
kids as well?
Correct, Your Honor. Now, me and Ashanti, we met a few years ago, and we ended up spending a lot of time together as me being her personal mechanic. She was looking for a vehicle, and I was helping her search for a good vehicle. So we spent a lot of time back and forth looking for cars.
So you really are a car mechanic?
Yes, ma'am.
So her car mechanic became his personal mechanic hunch. I think she took the wrong direction in her car and landed directly on his service. So the judge asked Miss Clifton further about her intentions for the defendant.
A good friend of mine, I was looking for a vehicle. She told me, I know a place that you can go. The mechanic there, he's nice, good to look at. He'll probably work on your car for a little or nothing. He's supposed
When
to
she
be
said
single.
you need a good mechanic, didn't she mean just in your Rolodex, not in your bed?
But it takes 2. I didn't proposition him for that. It takes 2. I was like, this is husband material. I feel like I had hit the jackpot when I met him.
So the car guy was married all along and still had a side bay. Interesting fact. Then the defendant explained that he was separated from his wife when he was involved with Miss Clifton, and she instantly broke it off with him. So, how did babies enter the picture? That's when Miss Clifton revealed the truth.
At the time, he had did some work on my car that it was costly, it was a lot. Matter of fact, my exact words is, I really need to keep my money. And he looked at me and he was like, well, you know what time it is.
Judge.
Mr. Little.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yes, it is.
That's not
Yes,
true.
it
Were you
is.
trading
Yes, it is.
car services for bedroom services?
No, ma'am.
Then Mr. Little revealed that after knowing about her pregnancy, he was happy. But it wasn't long until one day, a mistaken text from the plaintiff broke his heart that another man could potentially be the father of her kids.
He knows about Mr. Little. He knows that Mr. Little children. He knows that they are not his. This man knows that.
But
Mr.
I
Little
don't-
is
but I
upset.
don't know him, Your Honor.
You don't got to know him. You don't have to. I don't know his
Okay.
wife. I don't know if she knows about my kids.
Okay, Your Honor.
my concern is the
Hold
children.
on, let me stay on one subject at a time, and I'm gonna get to that.
Baby mama's texts are very suspicious. Every minute she changes the father of her twins. Now there's one possibility, but she's still pinning her baby on him. Then the judge asked the plaintiff about the other man's relationship with her kids.
He has a relationship with me, and he comes to see me. My kids
And
are
the
there.
kids,
My
Mama.
kids are always with me. I'm a real mom, a real stand-up mom. My kids are always with me. If I'm ain't at work or school where I'm at all day from 9 to 5 trying to provide for me and his kids, then I'm at home with my children.
Regarding the doubts, the defendant said that once she asked for baby items at midnight, and when he reached her house, to his surprise, another man was present there, and she didn't give Mr. Little any explanation. Then, the plaintiff explained who the mystery man was.
Every other line out of your mouth that I'm hearing is, because if I can't do it and he can't do it, somebody
gotta
got to do
get
it.
done.
No, hold on. No,
Your Honor,
somebody
I got
else
to
doesn't
provide
have
for
to
my
do
kids.
it. The 2 individuals that made the baby got to do
And
it.
that's why I'm here today. That's why I'm here, to get some help from the other individuals.
There were only 2 possibilities for the twins, but the random popping in of different men has made the situation more shady. The plaintiff's mother testified that her daughter was a self-sufficient woman, but when she moved on, Mr. Little, out of jealousy, cut off his help, and she further taunted him for being petty.
You signed the birth certificate, so legally by law, that's what the law considers you.
Your Honor, because
he insists, as I had my children.
What is that you're holding up
These
there?
are the birth certificates. Mr. Little came and got me out my sick bed and said my children have to have my last name.
Mr. Little was stuck in the middle of fulfilling his responsibilities while also living with doubt in his mind, even though the plaintiff's claims were strong. Still, her actions said otherwise, and there was only one way to find the truth, and that's with those DNA results.
Mr. Little, you are not. The next time a man looks at you and says, if you need help, you can either pay me one way with your check or pay me another way with your body. If you made the money, pay for him with your money and not your body.
What's the shortest duration of a relationship? 1 month. It's a short time, and you can mess around as much as possible, like the plaintiff, who was accused of being promiscuous and a party animal, and now claimed that Mr. Shelton fathered her twin sons. To set things straight, we need a DNA test.
He is the father. They look just like him. The conception date was matched up to when we were together during our relationship. I was with 2 other people afterwards, but both of them have been they're out of the picture. So he is the father. Look at them, look at him.
The plaintiff started the testimony firmly claiming that the twins are Mr. Shelton's babies and resemble him, and all his friends agree on the fact. Plus, the conception dates point to the defendant. Then, the alleged father shared his disapproval by sharing their relationship nature.
Whenever I was with her, she was very promiscuous. She was always disappearing. She was very untrustworthy. I didn't know what was going on half the time. We started talking for a little while, and then we just started hitting it off. We started seeing each other every day. It was really good for the first month, and then one day, like I said, she just disappeared. Now I think she's just trying to grasp for straws and trying to see who the kids are. She just was never there, really.
Then, the judge asked Miss Wolf about their relationship, and she revealed that it started well. But things went down badly because of trust issues, so she quit the relationship by ghosting him. Next, the plaintiff said that her pregnancy was not shared with Mr. Shelton.
When you found out, did you tell Mr. Shelton or you just continued to be MIA?
I was living with my current boyfriend at the time. He was pretty much going to be there for them. He had no problem. He was there for my oldest son as well. I didn't bother trying to look for him because I wasn't sure myself.
If the judge claimed that black people have blonde hair and blue eyes, then we believe it. Then the defendant shared that one day through a Facebook message, he met with Miss Wolf and found out that she was pregnant. But the plaintiff negated it and said she met him after the birth of the babies, so she could be sure of her claim. She continued telling the events of the birth.
What happened when Luke and Levi were born?
Ralph was there with me. He's my current boyfriend.
And Ralph
he
is
didn't
Mr.
know, of course,
Dubois.
he couldn't be there, yes.
And she also told me that the Ralph could possibly be one of the fathers also.
Oh, she did?
Later on, yes, later on, Your Honor.
That's not true. I was already pregnant. I thought he knew I was already pregnant. I thought we had already discussed this. He's acting like, no, Luke is mine.
Ooh, so it gets interesting here. The defendant denies the babies while her current boyfriend believes he is the biological father. That's quite unbelievable regarding the odds in this case. But let's listen to what the plaintiff's boyfriend, Mr. Dubois, has to share.
What did Ms. Wolf tell you about the paternity of these 2 children? Did she say you're the father?
That I could be possibly the father of one of
She
the children.
told you that?
Yes.
Joking around, he's been there since they were born, so he is their dad.
Why are you crying? Why are you so upset?
Your Honor.
That's not the truth.
Your Honor, she was partying with a lot of different kind of people.
Oh, I was not expecting that. Thought of getting a straight answer, but here we have more confusion. How can you joke about kids' paternity so easily? Next, Mr. Dubois continued telling the reasons for his belief over the twins' paternity.
And so when she told you she was pregnant, you immediately said they could be mine?
Possibly, yeah. Yes. Blonde hair, blue eyes does run in my family, so they could be mine.
Do you believe you're the father?
I think I am the father, yes. I could be possibly of Luke, yes.
But not both, not Levi.
Possibly, but not. They need somebody. Those little creatures that, you know.
He is right. Kids should have parents in their lives. Then the defendant said he only saw the twins once after 1 year, and Miss Wolf told him that one of the babies might be his, but the plaintiff denied it. However, Mr. Shelton shared that in hopes of meeting the kids, baby mama put him in a trap.
Your Honor, last time that I talked to her, she was supposed to bring the kids over and we were supposed to hang out. But instead, I gave her my address, and then 2 days later, I got child support papers in the mail. I've asked her so we could see if we can come hang out, so we can come to an agreement.
But we don't need to hang out. The thing is, you need to be there for your kids if that's what this is. It's not me and you, it's you and the kids.
It's about the children.
Yes.
I know.
Our mistakes never quite leave us. Sometimes they stay in our lives forever. But here, we hope that things may turn around well, not for the adults, but for the babies who are unsure of their fathers. So, the judge was ready to read the results to put this matter to an end.
Mr. Shelton, you are not the father.
Surprising to me, Your Honor.
Ms. Wolf, do you know who is? This is so unfortunate for the children.